You smoking dumb? I don't be smoking either. Nigga, the most I'll smoke is a vape.
Man, shit. I only drink. I drink every day, which is not good for you either. But like I figure that's
Drink
my.
some wine.
Yeah, I should start drinking wine. I be drinking
Cause
hard liquor.
you'll get, bro. Not only that, it's healthy for you. It gets you drunk slash high, and then, bro, it's like there's no health effect.
Yeah, I might have to start fucking with wine a little bit, man. Yeah,
Get
I've been going hard with that henny. You know my
get
nickname
red,
is.
get red wine. Nigga, you drink one glass of red wine, bro. You set, bro. You in a good vibe for hours.
Nigga, don't kick no game to me like I'm your fans and shit, nigga. What the fuck you kicking? You
Red
leave me
wine
thinking,
Merlot.
yeah. No, you are
Get
right
some
though. You are
Merlot.
right. You are right. You are right. I gotta get some wine to really mix up in my shit, bro.
You got anxiety, fam.
Why you say that?
I can read you. I can see it.
You know, I could read something about you. I was gonna tell you this the last time, like just me and you talk. I think no, this is my theory. I think and I know you have gone to therapy. I think when niggas have gone to therapy, they see things or they see shit in people differently from other people. You get me?
Mm.
Because I feel like you going through that and like kind of also picking up certain shit, you almost assume the role of a therapist sometimes when you're talking to other people. Because what's probably drawn out of you by your therapist, you could easily point out in other people.
I've been like this though. I just can read people.
Why are you up this time though? You don't sleep?
I'm always up.
Was you looking up hentai porn or some shit?
I should be, but no.
Bro, yo, can I get it on that vlog tomorrow, dog?
You want to get on the vlog?
Yeah, man, I want to kick some knowledge too. You don't think I could kick some knowledge?
You can. We just have to go into a pact if that's what you want to do.
You be using certain words that be sound like a little bit too deep. A pact, like when niggas hear of a pact, sacrifice,
Aren't wolves in packs?
yeah. But when you hear of a pact, when it comes to humans, it feels like a
No,
lifetime
brotherhood,
agreement or a brother. Yeah.
brotherhood. If you want longevity, you know I got longevity. I got longevity, so it has to just be an agreement.
I ain't gonna lie, man, bruh. What books you read?
I don't read currently.
Okay, what things do you study?
Myself, the world. I've just passed my own judgment. You know, that's what all authors really do. All authors. See, it's harder to read a book than it is to write it. Truly.
Okay, I get all that. But there's somewhere where you have cultivated certain type of messages or even cultivating a way that you put those messages out and you've learned how to disseminate it in a way that people could digest and subscribe to. That's
Yeah,
not, I don't believe that's natural.
it is natural.
Stop it, nigga.
It is natural. The only book I've ever read that taught me more about my mind was The Master Key, and that's when I was in jail. But it had nothing to do with my mind. My mind had already formulated this judgment, this perception. I've always perceived differently. That's why I was always the oddball.
Hey, by the way, you're on my stream. I don't know if you know.
Right now,
Yeah, nigga, that's what. Oh, you probably don't know. There's a headset. When I have this on, I'm usually on stream.
damn nigga, why you ain't let me know?
Nigga, you ain't saying nothing crazy. But no, what I was gonna say is that yo, shit, you were like super turnt earlier. Now you're just like in a zen mode, kicking, like you know what I mean, on some. Look like you trying to have a deep conversation and shit.
Cause my little cousin was around earlier, so I just be trying to make my little cousin happy. I be trying to entertain him.
Yo, what was that conversation I had with Kodak? How was
Which
that?
one?
Well, I don't know how many
Um,
times you guys talked, but he put up a conversation and you were trying to tell him to be safe. You're like, yo, listen, watch the people around you and watch your surroundings.
I felt I'm a very aware person, and I felt energy formulating towards Kodak that he didn't need, well, that he didn't want or need formulating against him. I won't put it into words. He's not he's very ignorant to certain things, but it's because he wants to be. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to. Like I don't want to speak for the next man. You feel
Yeah.
me? But All I was being the equilibrium in that situation, just telling him, providing him the options spiritually that he needed to perceive in order to move forward or to move backwards. But that
Who
all
does that
falls
for
down
you?
to him.
Who does that for
Hmm?
you?
That's the lonely part about being me. Nobody.
Somebody probably does.
No. Why
Parents.
would I lie? I don't have to lie to you.
No, not necessarily. I didn't say a line, but what I'm saying is that who do you often see like tries to give you that type of, hey, listen, stop doing
Everyone
this.
can offer support, but nobody can be my backbone. I am my backbone.
Hmm. Was
And then
Kodak receptive? Was he receptive to that?
Kodak was very receptive. Kodak was definitely very receptive because it's a mutual respect thing. Like, but it's like regardless of anything, we gotta respect each other's minds because of who we are. You know what I'm saying? And where we are and who we are, we're the only one that has amounted to what we've amounted to. Now, it's different if I was some random nigga coming to him spitting no game at all. But look how much I've achieved. You know what I'm saying? Look how much I've achieved. Look where my mind is, and look how differently I articulate myself from him. And we grew up basically in the same place. We both grew up in Broward. He in a different city, but we grew up around the same place. You feel me? So in the same context, look how I've come out and look how he's come out. We're two different people. He he has different mannerisms and he has different perception. So all I did was evaluate on my perception and what the world was telling me to tell him, and he perceived that. And whether he moves in that direction or not, I respect him as a man. And he's gonna be a man regardless. So
Do you ever feel like you owe it to your fans to kind of steer them? Like, because I feel like that's what the vlogs
yes,
are.
and that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm doing. But my main thing is it's the difference, right? It's the difference to be wanted and needed. If I'm needed, right? If this energy is needed, because it is. We don't have many teachers. We don't have many prophets. You know what I'm saying? How it was funny because Bob Marley said something very important. How long it was either Bob Marley or somebody. How long are we gonna sit aside and let them murder our prophets? How long are we gonna sit aside? Like you have these people that arise and come out of nowhere, and our teachers and our people that are supposed to lead and push people in the right direction with energy.
Do you
These
feel
are the
like you're a
people
teacher and a leader?
of the youth, yes, of the youth, because they are the ones that can be molded. I have to be very careful with my message. All I want is for people to be able to be themselves, to be free minded, to ideally understand themselves more, and to unlock that piece of their mind that gives them clarity, that gives them ground. You know what I'm saying? But in order for me to lead people in that direction or to lead anyone in that direction, people have to show the necessity, the need that for me. You know what I'm saying? They have to elaborate on that. They have to be willing to show me that they care about me and put that equal effort, whether it means physically going somewhere and speaking about me or like, bro, it would mean the world to me if people would go out of their way and leave their houses physically and do whatever they could to help me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody put in that equal amount of energy, then I could amount to what I needed to amount to really assert myself. But sometimes it's better. Like I don't be trying to like tell people like, oh yeah, bro, save me. I'm not trying to tell people that because if it's genuine, people will do it.
Yo, you're at top of the rap game, at least for, you know what I mean.
Rap game, rap game, no. I'm on top of the music game.
Okay, well, but I still even have to put a caveat
Yeah,
when it comes to your generation, because it's gonna be somebody who points out like some huge megastar and be like, he's not on that level. But still, when it
man,
comes to
but
when
here's a strange thing though. You do realize that my energy is purely mine, right?
like explain.
Like my energy is purely mine. Like you can call my label and ask them like how much if they were able to do any promotion behind anything I've done, and it will be no. Like because even when I dropped my last album, 17, the all those numbers was purely off the strength of my fan base, purely, and that amazed the fuck out of everyone because it was like, yo, like all right, to compare it to Uzi's drop, right? Uzi's drop had plenty of interviews behind it. Uzi had a huge
Had a rollout,
major,
marketing
yeah,
budget.
exactly, and it was all planned, pre-planned. Now with mine, that was literally me saying, yo, me talking to my fans, I'm dropping it on this day, and I'm gonna drop it. My label had no my label had no clue. Nobody knew what the fuck I was doing. I
You had
just
a
dropped it.
distribution deal. That's important to know. You had a
Exactly.
distribution deal,
I had
which
a
means that
distribution.
they weren't gonna promote your stuff. They were gonna just
They
put it
just
out there.
they were gonna just put it out and pay for it and get a percentage.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, do you think your fan base has changed? I mean, at first when it was announced that you signed, which by the way, like, and just
People
personally,
haven't. My fan base has not changed, and I don't like to call it a fan base. My family has not changed. My supporters have not changed. It's what we've appropriated that has changed. It's what has become the cool shit that has changed. Some like look, as new artists come out, different waves will surface. But not all of these have longevity. Not all of these have the same purpose and meaning. Not all of these have the same raw energy. You could go to like all right, it's hard. It's very hard to explain, but you can see it in the energy. You can see it in the message. You can see it in everything. Like all right, look how many times I've got. Like I said, look how many times I've got my ass kicked in the media. Look how many times, bro. I have millions of dollars. I have millions of dollars. I know plenty of people. If I really wanted someone to be harmed, I could harm them. I've stuck by my message purely not. It's not for me. It's for them
mm-hmm.
to show it's possible. It's not for me because if it was for me, I would have been gotten revenge. I would have been gotten revenge, and that's always how I was. I changed myself in order to be that person for them, to be that platform for them. So when I got punched in my shit, when I went through what I went through, even when I went back to jail that last time, right, for
Yeah,
some shit, like, and I'm not even gonna evaluate on that because I'm not supposed to. I was told to, but not to by the court, so I can't say anything about that. But
no,
even when I went back to jail last time,
no,
I didn't.
I did want to
Go
ask
ahead.
you one thing. Again, nothing about the case or anything like that. Just your mindset. When you were remanded and they put you in jail for that first day, did you kind of, again, and I don't know if you ever looked to a higher power or not, but did you kind of look at yourself and say, yo, I fucked up? Like, yo,
No,
I'm back where I never wanted to return after
no,
I got out the last time.
no, because I know it was the universe protecting me.
What do you mean?
It was the universe protecting me
You
because
felt it.
I might have been in the wrong place at the wrong time during that time.
So you didn't look at it as a bad thing because at that
Now,
point it was probably one of the worst times you could go in.
why would you say that?
I mean, you're a very successful artist. You just came off dropping a very successful album. You just reportedly signed a $6 million deal, which is still
That's
blowing
all
up.
material.
Okay, but to get locked up at that point, it's like almost
A
stopping your
reality check.
progress. It's a reality. So you felt it was a reality check. Did,
Yeah,
did,
and I
did you
was
think
only
that? Did you
I was
think that
only in
initially?
I was only in jail for 6 to 7 days. Initially, I questioned my entire life. I I wanted to commit suicide. I started to question myself. But in question, life really starts with a question, wouldn't it? Doesn't life start with a question? Everything starts with a question. So I began to question myself. Anything that can cause you to question yourself is simply a reality check. Who am I currently? Where am I headed? What are my goals? I had realized that I had abandoned a lot of things that had made me the person I was. I had almost lost my reason. I saw myself going towards a direction that I wasn't supposed to go towards. Now, the reason I had went back to jail was a fucked up reason because it wasn't a real valid reason, and I won't evaluate on it. But everything worked out how it was supposed to, wasn't it?
You know what? I'll give you credit for this. You're definitely one of the most self-aware artists I know. You know why? Because you've gone through a lot of ups and downs. Like, shoot, we
Are we
saw.
talking about music? Are we talking about music artists? Are we
No,
talking about artists? Period.
no,
Because if we're
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
artists,
no.
Jim Carrey is
No. Let's remove even just artists, people,
Jim
because
Carrey. Jim Carrey.
oh, no, no, but I'm trying to elaborate on you.
Okay.
You got knocked out on stage, and
Yeah.
we've had multiple conversations since then. And this is the self awareness part, where you could say, you know what, when that happened to me, I fucked up in terms of how I handled something, or I jumped out like out a window or whatever. A lot of times people don't think that ever. You know what I mean? When something happens to you bad, you don't
Because they're
really
not thinking
own
for the
up.
long run.
Like, was it a process for you to feel like that though?
To a
Because at
degree.
first I could imagine, even with
I've never. Let me tell you something. I've never been a man of ego. You want to know the difference between me and artists and all these other artists? I've
Mhm.
never been a man of ego ever. The only ego I've had is simply feeling as if I deserved loyalty. That's the only sense of ego I've had, and that if someone was disloyal to me, that it would hurt me. And that's the only sense of ego I've had. That's the only even like, and you can't even really attach that to ego. You understand?
Do you tie your need because a lot of people like you, and even me, like I value loyalty very high on the
Yes.
totem pole
Yes.
with people. But I remember you put up some post, and I hope. And again, I'm not telling you what you should put in your next vlog or whatever vlog, but I hope you
Of
do
course.
elaborate on that. Like one time, you had put up a string of posts explaining why you were certain ways, and you were talking about how, like it was kind of like your father abandoned you, and like you didn't grow up with a dad. You know what I mean? Is that dependency that probably came from that? The reason why you value loyalty so much?
Let me clarify something because I don't want my words because I've even twisted my own words out of emotion. You know, because
Hmm.
everything is very real. So I speak on how I feel at the moment. You
Yeah.
understand? So um abandoning the aspect like, okay, my father did what he deemed fit for his life, right? Now that was deemed as selfish to me because he could have taken the hard route. He could have taken the hard route just as I took the hard route because I did take the hard route. He could have took the hard route and he would have got a much more rewarding future. You understand? But in that I wouldn't be me. I would be a lesser. I wouldn't be the person I exist to be today. So it was in that him being selfish and making his own decisions for what he deemed fit for what was his current situation that made me who I am. So I no longer try and dwell on, like, all right, look at it this way. I hated my dad because his previous decisions had affected me,
Hmm.
and it affected me spiritually because my dad was in it, like I got locked up and was going to jail and shit. I ended up going through the same process. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now, as far as his upbringing was far different than me. Mine was not traditional. It was almost like being thrown into a void, you know? And there's a lot about my family that people do not know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that my mom has been through, my family's just like kind of spaced apart, you know? So it's a lot to later on. So resentment, like, I don't resent anyone. However, I do have to walk my own path. I don't
Hold on though. Okay, maybe not. Resentment is a strong word,
yeah,
but even you understanding that with ski, didn't you feel a way?
with my father I was ski.
No, no, with ski, even understanding why
I
he
felt away
had to.
because I felt away because I was naive. I felt away because I was selfish. I felt away because I did not feel the pain he felt. He is a man of ego. Now I can't relate because I am not a man of ego. I would not know how it felt to be. Picture ego as a demon. All right, picture
X,
just
you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that you don't have any ego.
how would I if I shaved off my fucking eyebrows and made myself ugly as a lesson. I made myself ugly as a lesson. I destroyed my
Name
sense
of
of
my gang,
character
you
as a
come with
lesson.
respect. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking
I don't
name.
know if that's
Three of
ego
y'all.
or
Stop
if
playing with
it's
my name.
it's like a image
No
type
more.
of thing.
It's not an image. It was me destroying my previous self. Everyone was attached to this black and yellow hair and this attractive mugshot that made me be perceived as a beautiful person. I destroyed that person and turned into someone else that was perceived as ugly.
Well, you are
But
ugly.
I wasn't ugly inside.
Hmm.
I was only ugly on the outside.
So were you doing that for the people who perceived you as that, or were you doing that for you?
I was doing it for everyone. I was doing it for them. I was doing it for myself because that was the next step.
So I mean, clearly now, like eyebrows are back, or whatever, and you know, what I mean, is that process complete? Do you feel like you have destroyed that image of you that had you look a certain way?
It's slowly killing itself because I have not been that same person. I've not. My actions have spoken. You understand? My actions have spoken for themselves. I mean, for itself. So it's
What do you think you'll
more
change for the better or for the worst?
for the better. For the better. The only part is I care a lot. I care too much.
About other people
Pe-
or
People that I don't even know. Like really realize that there are literally no artists doing what I'm doing, and that carries a lot of weight to bear everyone on my back, to take responsibility for the youth. That carries a lot of weight. So all I asked for in return was physical and mental loyalty. That carries like people only perceive because I like I've been more playful and more like more comical and nice. You know what I'm saying? But understand that this is a huge. Just like it's a blessing. It is a burden
yeah.
because if I say the wrong thing, do understand that I have a million parents, teenagers, and kids responding negatively or positively, and all while doing these things, I have to be genuine. So the words have to be real. Because if I'm upset, I'm gonna respond how I deem necessary when I'm upset, but it has to be real. You understand?
Of course. Listen, at one point, I remember we had a pretty heated discussion, but a respectable discussion, and that's why I
Yeah.
respect you. Where you know you ain't gonna call me, and I'm the guy who's gonna just agree with whatever you say. I'm gonna challenge you, and you're gonna give your side. I'm gonna try to give a side, and shoot. Hopefully, we both grow in that conversation. I
Of course.
remember there was a time you were very frustrated with the media. Their depiction of you, things they would choose to show, things
Yeah.
they would not show.
I like what you just said. Choose to show.
Do you
Because
feel that?
I've seen you be very genuine in what you post. You a
Okay,
real you a real one when it comes to that.
okay.
You is, well, at least when it comes to me.
Okay. Have you seen? And again, when I say the media, I am a part of the media, but I'm expanding it to every media, from the small publications to the YouTubers to the giant publications. Have you seen a change? Have you seen them be a little bit more fair in dealing with you?
They can't talk. They can't say as much, bro. Because then they lose. Bro. Power. I am my own power. That's what people got to realize. You can't abuse my power. It is gonna backfire. You use my energy, and you think you're gonna disrespect me in the process, and it will destroy you. It may take a little while, but it will destroy you. It will destroy you because my supporters and family are much much different from everyone else's supporters and what well they call them fans. They're much different, so you get a very different response. And you don't need like okay, yeah, it's sensationalism, and you get that what you want for the meanwhile. But then after a while, they see that okay, the people behind this are bad people. So the only ones that will feed on that energy are bad people. So if you like to feed on that energy, you're a weak person. You're a weak person, and you like to you. It's building. All right, people like to see other people in pain because it builds their pride.
Mm,
It makes them feel better. Like, well, at least that's not me.
that is true.
Exactly.
It feels like also you're alluding to balance as well. I'm again, we won't even call out particular publications, but we've seen you on like even your Insta Snap or whatever is it, the Insta Story.
Insta
Like
story.
yeah, you've kind of told your fans like these publications here, they're not giving me a fair shake. Please don't view me as they would portray me, or don't fuck with them. Period. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Have you tried to like reach out? Have you tried to
Why the
repair?
fuck would I do that? That's ingenuine.
Well,
Niggas gonna hate me regardless. I'd rather them hate me.
well, sometimes people hate what they don't know, and they
They
hate what
make
they don't
they
understand.
make me more popping when they hate me. I got so many people behind my back. They just need to make sure they're loving me properly. They need to give me the proper love. That's all it is. They need to give me to what's gonna help me benefit so I can help them benefit. They need to give me the energy that I need so I can move forward.
So is it like a dependence, at least for you, on the people who do love you to keep it going? Because I remember.
I am very much so dependent on them. Yes, they
Okay.
actually. I was wrong when I said I am my backbone. They are my backbone.
Because you know what, I remember, right? It was the first time I talked to you in a while, but you called me right after that BT award shit happened. But it was an interesting time for you. You were getting hammered in the media, and also I believe like one of your family members that got shot. And I
Yeah, my
feel like
cousin.
yeah, I think with all the criticism you were getting, it was a time that I could tell like you were trying to fall back a bit. You know what I mean? And of course, you eventually like you know what I mean got back on your shit, but it felt like it was the people who had to support you for that. So do you kind of just look at like your fan base, your family as you call it? You look at them for support in everything you do.
Yep. No, but there's a difference between mental support and going online, or getting up out of your bed and finding ways to support me however you can.
What do you mean though? That's vague. So you want to mobilize? It sounds
My
like you want to
my
mobilize.
mind is a kingdom. Take pride in being a part of my mind. Is basically what I tell them. If I am destroyed, this energy that you crave and you desire and that you use, like okay, if something were to happen to me, right? Like all right, if I got shot and ended up in the hospital, and I don't have a million people outside of that hospital trying to get inside, storming inside to make sure I'm okay, I would never ever make music ever again.
Hmm.
And I would abandon and become the evil person that everybody perceived me to be. And I would just be selfish like everybody else. Because then what was everything for? And I know it's possible. I know it's possible because my mind is a kingdom. Take pride in being a part of that kingdom. That energy that they feed on, this music that they use to repair their souls. Do you know how much energy I put into that? Do you know how much I sacrificed to do that?
Not too sure what happened there. Hold up.